Okay, we're going to start word drums out by learning some direction stuff. Do we know how to read a compass? What direction goes at the top? If I go to Winnipeg, north. If I go to Highway 75, east. If I go to the States, south. If I go to Brandon, Winkler, west. Never eat shredded wheat. Okay. Now, when you are going to do compass bearings in this, here's what you know. You have to start with either north or south. So you're going to decide if you're closer to a north or a south. Draw north. So if I have my pen on north, can you swivel from the north 15 degrees to the west? So from the north, 15 degrees to the west. That's what it looks like. Okay? So start either the north or the south, swivel. Okay, draw south 30 east. So put your pen on a south. And now swivel yourself 30 degrees to the east side. And the last one in the drawing, I want you to now put the direction on it. So looking at it, is it close to north or south? It's closer to a north than it would be to the south. So from the north, I have now moved 80 over to the what side? To the east side. I'm going to try to trick you. I'm going to draw you one more thing. How about if I did there? I'm going to trick you. What about this drawing? What are you closer to? North or south? You're closer to a north. So if you put your pen on the north, how much have you swiveled from the north? It's not 20, by the way. 70. So you need to understand you're actually from the north, you're 70 towards the west. You see how I tried to trick you? Would you have just written 20 because you see 20? Okay. The 20 is pivoting off the west line. You always got to say, what am I pivoting off of, north or south? Okay? Okay, here we go. A kayak leaves an inlet and heads due east. Okay, so here's my inlet. I'm going to put a compass on it. I head due east, so the word due east means you're just going exactly straight, flat east. So you go due east for 5 kilometers. Okay, so that was kayak, the first kayak, left, like that. Okay, next sentence. At the same time, there's a second kayak that left the inlet. And this one took off in this direction. South 60 east. How do you draw it leaving the inlet? So leave the inlet. South 60 degrees pivot towards the east side. Does that look like it's south 60 pivot east? Okay, that kayak went for 4 kilometers. Hey, Mike. How far apart are the kayaks? How far apart are the kayaks? Okay, so here's a side, here's a side, there's a side and a side. Is there more info somewhere that's helpful? Anybody see something that's popping out of them? Do you understand 60 degrees isn't even in my triangle, so can't use 60. It's not inside this triangle. Anybody see anything dealing with angles anywhere? On a compass, how much angle is between 90? Every corner, right, has 90. So, were you thinking 30 in there? Okay, so now we draw it. Drew it. Now what do we do? What do you got? Pairs, SAS, triple S. Which one of those 3 do you see? Do you see the SAS format? Okay, so this is the formula. X squared equals one side squared plus the other side squared. Subtract 2 side, cos, angle. Okay, so we did that paper yesterday that said if you have this, do this. If you have this, do this. Okay, go ahead, type. How did that go? Number-wise? Type, answer, square root? Yes, matching? Okay, do you notice how I put kilometers on the end of that? So I'd be looking for something like that on a test if it's going to have word problems with a kilometer or a mile or whatever. Okay, a radar operator on a ship discovers a large sunken vessel lying parallel to the ocean floor, directly below the ship. Okay, so I have the water. So we have a ship on top of the water. And then there's the ocean floor. and it notices sunken treasure or whatever on a old ship, and then there's an old ship that sunk years ago, and it's on the bottom. Yeah, the Titanic is down there, and it's 200 meters just exactly below. Then they want to measure to the front and the back of this thing to see how long it is, because then that's going to tell them what kind of ship it was and which treasure they're going to find. Okay, so I'm going to measure to the front, and I'm going to be measuring to the back end. That's what I'm doing. Bless you. Okay, we have to talk about a new word that I read here. This is a new thing we probably haven't seen. An angle of depression. Okay, so here is what this is about. If you look forward, pretend your eyes are looking straight flat. If you have to tilt your head up like that, that's called an angle of elevation. Okay, now separately, pretend your eyes are looking exactly forward, and then you had to tilt your head down. This is what an angle of depression is. So it's always from a flat up or flat down. Okay? Okay, so here we go. The angle of depression to the front of the ship. Where would I put 56 is my angle of depression to the front. Where am I going to put that 56? The angle from a flat pivoting down. It's here. The angle of depression, so from the flat pivoting down. Does that make sense? It's not inside the triangle. That's not what that is. It has to be from a flat horizon swivel down. Okay, and the depression angle to the back is 62. So where are you going to put 62? Right here. Okay, now let's continue with angles. If this was straight, are we okay to say that's a 90-degree corner? It's going straight up and down there. It had said that ship was directly below, so that's a straight line like that. Can you get me some other angles in those zones? Right here and right here separately. Can you get me more angles? I want the bottoms of those triangles. Keep going with your angles. You can get them all now. Oh, did anybody notice something? This is 62 and this is 62. Y from our last unit. What's that? Do you say crisscross? Corresponding, not the right relationship, but that's the idea. It's a different one. What are the 62s with each other? Pick one of the other relationships. Alternating interiors. Look at them. You see them? If I go like this and this is the water and the floor, and I had that, there was a 62 there, and there's 62 there. You see them now? Alternating interiors. Okay, how long is the vessel? So our goal is to get this. Okay, now here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to work separately. We're going to be doing stuff in this triangle and this triangle. So let's call this maybe like X and this Y. And then what are we going to do at the very end? Add those numbers, right? Would that make sense? The whole thing. Okay. Who has something for me? Pairs, SAS, triple S. Anybody see any of those features? Pairs, SAS, triple S. Boom, pair. There it is, pair. You see it? So give me a pair there. How do we write it? So we're going to go 200 is across sine 56 degrees. And we're going to say that X is across sine 34 degrees. Okay, got that written down? Give me a times divide. There's no inversing because it's a side, just a times divide. Matching? Anybody match on my number? Okay. 134.9. Okay. Done on that side. Can we do the same thing on the other side? You're doing the exact same pattern. Find a pair. Do you see your pair? Pair, pair. Set it up. So this time there's a 200 across sine of 62. And Y is across from the 28 degree. $106.34.